Okay, example 4 talks about the inverse and the contrapositive. So again, our conditional statement is if P, then Q. For the inverse, we're going to say not P if not P. So if P is not true, or it's the opposite, right, not P, then not Q is the case. Okay, and the contrapositive is kind of like the inverse and the converse put together. So it's going to be not Q, if not Q. So if not Q, then not P. Okay, and again, these are important for proofs in higher level math. We're really not going to be using the inverse of the contrapositive that much, but they have them on here, and so it's good to go through them. So let's look at an example for inverse and contrapositive. Example 1-4. Okay, so they even have it as a video for you, but write and determine the truth value of the inverse and contrapositive of the conditional statement. If two whole numbers are even, then their sum is even. So again, our conditional statement is if P, then Q. So if two numbers are even numbers, that's going to be our hypothesis. So two whole numbers are even. Two whole numbers, not numbers, numbers are even. Okay, then their sum is even, so that's going to be our conclusion. Okay, so Q is going to be their sum is even. Okay, their sum is even. Okay, so let's write our inverse first. So let's do our inverse. So our inverse is not P. If not P, then not Q. All right, so we're going to start with if two whole numbers are not even. So if two whole numbers are not even, it's probably easier for you to watch their video than mine here. But if two whole numbers are not even, then their sum is not even. Okay. So we got to know now, is this inverse statement true or false? So if we have two whole numbers that are not even. So let's take 3 and 1. So 3 and 1 are both not even whole numbers. They're going to add together to get 4, which is an even number. So we know that our inverse statement here is going to be false, because we just came up with a counterexample that shows that this inverse statement is false. If we have two numbers that are not even, whole numbers that are not even, we can add them together to get an even one. All right, and then our contrapositive. So our contrapositive is going to be not if, not Q, right? Then not P. So that's going to be if, right, and not Q. So if two numbers the sum of two numbers is not even. So if the sum of two numbers is not even, so if the sum of two numbers is not even, then the two numbers are not, the two whole numbers are not even. Then the two numbers are not even. Right, the two, I guess we should include whole. The two whole numbers are not even. Okay, now we need to assess the truth claims to that. So if the sum of two numbers is not even, so let's take a sum like 7, then the two whole numbers are not even. Okay, so that's going to be 4 plus 3 or 5 plus 2. So if we try another example, like 15, we're not going to come up with two whole numbers that are even. So we're going to have to say this is true, right? We need an even and an odd number to add up to an odd number. So we're going to say this one is true. So if we have the sum of two numbers is an odd number or not an even number, like 15, then we're going to have an even and an odd number to add up to 15, and therefore the two numbers are not even, right? They're not both even. So this is going to be a true statement.